I'm hungry, so fuck it. Oh gosh, that's cold and that's wet. Yep, that's exactly what that is. So today I am headed to hike the Wolf River Trail. It's a nice day. I'm kind of tired of being in quarantine, and plus all my accessories for the GoPro just came in. So I'm trying them out, seeing how it looks, and hiking really. I would like to continue this Appalachian Trail story. So when we left off, Caleb was going to take me to the trail. I didn't really take it too seriously about getting there early and giving me plenty of time to get there and get on the trail. So we left like 7 a.m. from Memphis. And when we got closer and closer, I actually started getting like bubbly guts. Like I was getting nervous and had the Hershey squirts, you know what I'm talking about? So that kind of made us go a little bit later. We ended up being so late, we missed the Appalachian Trail like sign-in beginning thing. So I didn't get my official number. I didn't get to register. I didn't get to do any of that because they closed like 4 or 5 and we just totally missed it. So messed up there, should have left earlier. I didn't get to do the approach trail because also should have left earlier. Just didn't do proper planning. Instead of doing the approach trail, we did that first parking lot that's like a mile away from the first shelter and like a mile away from the official beginning of this trail. And we parked there. Caleb actually stayed with me and he hiked in the mile up the mountain to the first shelter with me. Oh, here we go. Hope I don't get a ticket. So he actually hiked up there with me to the first shelter. I remember hiking up the mountain, and he and I both kind of looked at each other at one point and said, "Oh bro, this is gonna be difficult. This is gonna be really, really difficult." That was the first mile, and I was having trouble already. Should have trained. I didn't do any of the proper training, and that first time up the mountain, or that first mountain, was rough. When we got up there, the shelters are freaking amazing. They are beautiful. They're well set up. It was kind of nice just to be able to see what we call Adirondack in the middle of nowhere. And I was like, if this is going to be the whole trail, I think I'll be pretty set up. The first people we met were all kind of people like me. They just either graduated college, most of them just graduated college and were doing this before they got a real job. Others were just finishing the semester and taking the summer to do as much of the trail as they could, which I thought was ingenious. I should have done that in years past. But all of them were about my age. Caleb stayed with me that night. We went to bed that night, woke up the next morning, and we headed off. He took me down to the parking lot. It was just, like a 20-minute walk down the mountain. And, man, it was rough saying goodbye. I mean, it was happy, but he was going to be gone for months. It was rough and it was sad. Happy that I was doing it, but still hard. We did meet an interesting character. Some crazy guy came up to us, and he straight up, he was crazy. He straight up came up to us, like crazy eyes and all, came up and said, "Hey, how are y'all? Where'd y'all sleep last night? Did y'all hear those coyotes?" We're like, "No." He goes, "Man, there's been something trying to get me all night. I was sleeping in a hammock over there, and then when I heard the noises, I went and hopped in the back of this dude's truck." I was like, "Whose truck is it?" He goes, "I don't know, just somebody's truck." But I was scared, so I got in the truck. Like, oh, okay, cool. Because, hey, do y'all have any water? I'm out of water, too. I was like, "Yeah, we got some water, man. Let's get you some water." I was like, "Do you have a tent?" He goes, "No, I don't have a tent yet. I was going to figure that out later." oh, okay, you'll figure that out later then. So, weird dude from the get-go, but Caleb was there, it was all cool. We gave him some water, and then Caleb left, and I forget his name, but me and him actually started hiking together. I mean, he's a cool dude, or cool enough, just a little weird. We started hiking together, and we actually hiked the first 8 miles together, and there was no issues, no problems. He was my age, or maybe a little bit older, but my age. We got to the first proposed campsite, which was like 7 or 8 miles down the way. Now, I thought that was plenty enough for me to start off with, because I want to take it easy, want to take it light, don't want to overdo it. But it was only like noon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean, what else am I going to do for the rest of the day? I had messed up because I should have kind of slept in, made a big breakfast, and then hiked out and taken my time and had stuff planned to do other than just hike. Really make it take up more time that way. But at that moment, I was like, no, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Let's push forward. Let's go to the next shelter, which is like another 7 miles forward, which we've got the rest of the day. No big deal. And it wasn't. We made it there in plenty of time before dark. Got there, got a nice spot in the shelter. No big issues. The big issues came up when that night we're all making food and talking to each other. Now, albeit I was very tired, everyone started talking about the next day. Like, where are we going to go to the next shelter? Turns out the next shelter is in the middle of a restricted area where no one can camp because of too much bear activity. Well, you could camp there if you had a bear canister, but I don't have a bear canister. So the next day was going to either have to be like a 5-mile day or a 15-mile day, and I'd have to go over Blood Mountain, which is the first kind of scenic view on the Appalachian Trail. It's a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what I call a game time decision. Do I choose to go ahead with the group of people that are really pushing to get the miles in and do another 15-mile day? Or do I kick back and just do the 5-mile day and hopefully make it up later? Now, if you're in my position, what would you do? You haven't prepared much, you're not quite there, but you don't really want to get left behind. I chose to go ahead and go forward. So the next morning when I woke up, I pushed and I pushed and I pushed, and it was hard. It hurt, my feet hurt. It was pretty rough. But once I got into the area where there was no camping allowed because of the bears, I didn't really have a choice. Not at all. I had to go forward. Much more than that, I couldn't do anything else. So I just pushed forward. There was no choice. When I got to Blood Mountain, it was awful. It was just me climbing up, taking a break, climbing more, taking a break, climbing more. That's all I had. That's all I could do. But when I got up there, it was beautiful. It was so worth it. It was awesome. When I got up there though, the group that I was with was ready to go already because they were waiting on me. They were in shape. They were ready. They were prepared. So didn't get to spend much time up there. That's okay. On the way down, we heard that there was someone giving out trail magic, giving out free food, free fruit, free juice. So they booked it, man. They just went and they flew down. I was not that fast, so I just took my time. On the way down, I came across this older fella, and he was like, now let me paint you the picture. I'm going down the trail. On your right, it's straight up. On your left, it's straight down. And you can start to hear the highway down on the ground. I come up on this guy, and he's 30 foot down the side of the trail, laying on the ground. I come up to him, I say, "Hey, how you doing there, sir?" He goes, "Oh, I'm doing all right." I go, "What happened?" "Well, I slipped and I fell." I said, well, sir, do you mind if I help you at all? He goes, yeah, sure, why not? His backpack is still down the 30 foot and he's scrambled up to the top. I said, well, let me get your backpack for you. At least let me do that for you. So I took my backpack off and took my bear line and tied it up to a tree up at the top. And then I climbed all the way down there and tied it to his backpack. Then I had to climb back up and pull his backpack up. I got his backpack up there. I gave him some water. And I started talking to him. I said, so what you doing out here? He goes, well, me and my buddy were trying to hike from the beginning of the Appalachian Trail to Fontana Dam, but I don't think we're gonna be able to make it. I go, really? He goes, yeah, I'm 90 years old. I just don't think my body is made for this anymore. I said, oh, I think you're right there. I don't think your body is up for this anymore. He goes, yeah, I appreciate you helping me get my backpack up here. Thank you. I go, well, you know, sir, I'm a paramedic and a nurse. Do you mind if I stay with you and help you get down the mountain? He goes, sure, I'm not gonna pass up good help. So I held up the backpack and got him in the backpack. And as soon as I got him in the backpack, he started swaying. I don't know if he was dehydrated, low blood sugar, what it was, but this guy was barely on his 2 feet. So behind him, step by step, I went down the mountain. And every time he stepped toward the downhill side, he kind of swayed a little bit. And I would just grab his backpack and move him over a little bit. The entire way. It took us so long to get to the bottom. By the time we got down to the bottom, his friend was starting to organize a search party, and all of my friends were wondering what happened to me. But we got him down, we got him taken care of. He actually was kind of scraped up pretty good. We had to bandage him up and stuff, but at least we got him down. He was so thankful. He said, Logan, I'll buy you a dinner and a beer. Well, that's how you get me for anything. So he got a ride. Him and his buddy got a ride, took me into town, and I had the best chopstick dinner of my life. I don't think it was just because I was eating jerky and cheese on the trail. It was actually really, really good. And I haven't had a chopstick dinner like that since. It was amazing. After celebrating the rescue of my new friends, I had some issues going on. My feet really hurt and I couldn't figure out why. I had already done a good amount of miles in the shoes that I had, but I just couldn't figure out what was going on. Luckily, there was a guy that was section hiking most of the trail, and I'd already done most of the trail, that was giving out advice to all the new hikers. And I asked him, I said, hey man, what am I doing wrong? He goes, well, where are you hurting? And I was hurting in the arches of both feet. He goes, well, have you hiked in your shoes? Like, yeah. He goes, well, you're probably tying your shoes too tight. It's like, you really think that's it? He goes, well, you're probably tying your shoes too tight, and do you have inserts? It's like, no, I didn't get any inserts. He goes, you got to get inserts on these trails. You got to get inserts and like rock guards, or a really stiff insert that acts like a rock guard. I was like, oh, okay. This is something new I need to know. So I got the inserts and stuff. I decided I was going to take a 0 day there and kind of reassess the next day and see how I feel. I'm glad I did that because I met someone. This young lady that I met, we had planned to spend our 0 day getting all of our stuff in town and then just staying at that same hostel at Blood Mountain the next night and just going out from there. Well, the closest place to get groceries was a Dollar General like 2 miles down the hill. We weren't really in the mood for walking more on top of our injuries, so we got a hitchhike down the mountain. And seriously, we stood out at the road for 2 minutes, maybe, me and her together, and got a hitch into town. And it was just this couple that was in town for a family reunion and helped us out. It was awesome. We go into Dollar General, get all of our groceries and stuff. We come out and we're trying to get a hitch back up the mountain. It's not happening now. We're sitting there and sitting there. We're probably there for 20-30 minutes and it's not looking good. Weather's starting to change, starting to get a little kind of rainy, or it's gonna rain soon. And lo and behold, Ford like Explorer pickup pulls over and says, y'all go and hop on in. I'll take you back up there to the hostel. Well, this fella, we hop in the back, me and her both. He starts going up the mountain. On the way up the mountain, he opens up the back glass and he goes, "Hey, it's about to start raining. I'm gonna take y'all up here to my house and we're gonna hop in the CRV." And then he shut the glass. The girl I was with, she looks at me and her eyes are huge. She's like, "Oh God, we're about to get raped." It's like, hold on. Let's see where this goes, because I'm not about to get out of this truck. Not 20 seconds later, a wall of water hits us. And I was like, oh, he was right. Well, he ain't lied about that so far. And then he turns right off the highway and he starts zigzagging straight up the mountain. I mean, left, right, just flying up the mountain. I'm like, oh shit, this is kind of scary now. I don't remember the last time I rode in the back of a pickup like this. We get up to his house and it's still pouring. His wife is at the front door. She opens it up and she says, "Hey y'all, come on in." We hop out, leave all of our wet groceries and stuff outside, and she takes us in. She sets us down. She goes, "Hi, you know, this is me and my husband's house. You know, we like to support the thru hikers that come through. You're a little late for the season, but we still like to help you out." I said, "Okay, cool. Would you like some hot chocolate?" And the girl I was with, she goes, "No." I was like, "Huh? Hold on. Of course we want some hot chocolate." So she makes us the hot chocolate because we're cold and wet. She gives it to us. She gives both of us at the same time. And the girl I was with, she starts drinking hers immediately. In the back of my head, I'm like, this is a perfect situation to drug us, because no one knows where we are. He just picked us up off the side of the highway. So I'm not gonna drink my hot chocolate immediately. I just kind of sit there and blow on mine for about 30 minutes. I look at my friend. There's nothing different about her. She's not acting loopy. She doesn't look scared or anything. So perfect. So even if it was drugged, I've got a 30-minute head start on her, and I'm bigger. So at least I've got 30 minutes to grab her and get out of there. Which, should I have been thinking like that? Maybe, I don't know. But I did. So finished hot chocolate, we're talking to the people, and apparently this nice couple that picked us up also likes to minister to people through food and stuff and helping them through hikers. So they were thinking about getting their house together to put up like a missionary hostel, like let people stay with them. So they offered us. They said, if you would like to, we'll put you up, we'll make dinner with you, and you can stay here free for the night. I was a little out there about it at first. I was like, sure, of course. This is a free place to stay. You're gonna make us dinner. Everything's gonna be good. I've got me and my friend. Y'all treated us well so far. I'll take it. So that's what they did. They made us a full dinner, like a whole chicken, vegetables, salad, everything that you're not gonna get while you're hiking, all for us. And then we took them out for dinner, or for dessert. They knew the place, they drove, but we took them out for dessert. What an amazing day. And what an amazing experience. Wouldn't have happened anywhere else. I mean, it was freaking fantastic. We had a great time getting to know them. It was great. Next morning, they took us to their church. They offered to take us to the church. I said, sure, you put us up, we'll go to your church. So they took us to the church. We went to church, then they dropped us off at the trail the next morning. How amazing. How amazing. You wouldn't get that anywhere else. Nowhere else in my life have I ever been picked up by a stranger off the side of the road in need. And you're so vulnerable because you don't have any resources. You got whatever's on your back and anything you can do. You're very vulnerable. So they picked us up, they took care of us, they fed us, they clothed us while our laundry was going. They gave us a place to stay. I mean, you just don't get that. It's amazing. So it was like an eye-opening experience. Like, this is what humanity should be. This is something I need to try to do. This is something we should all try to do. And I was like my first 3 days on the trail. From getting dropped off to getting picked up to meeting strangers, hanging out with people. It was kind of amazing. Thank you for watching. Look out for more. Next time, we're gonna finish the story of what happened once we got back on the trail together. My eyes are dim, I cannot see. I have not brought my specs with me. I have not brought my specs with me. I think that's a different song. Oh well.